You bring a Mac and I bring a bit of cloth. For this nostalgic episode. World of Warcraft.
Oh my goodness, this is 1985. Okay.
Smells about
That's the year I was born. That's the year I was born. Okay. That's the year I was born. That's how nostalgic that is.
You're getting as grey as that screen. That makes all sense now.
Anyhow, I think right now in the background we're playing an amazing music. I hope it will be the Ultima Online music of the theme song of the Ultima Online. Today is our spatial. Today is our special, not spatial. Today is it's spatial computing. You know, I touched it in spatial computing territory. But today is the pretty special episode because we decided to do a retro nostalgic episode
Nothing
about
like a smack of nostalgia on your face.
Yes.
Of
Of nostalgia, of how we actually got into gaming and all of the adventures and crazy, nice and cool stories about MMORPGs we played in our life. And boy, we played a lot, and some are still playing. And we will be talking about the days how we got into probably internet playing and stuff. So yeah. I guess without further ado, we will start this episode in 3, 2, 1.
Pixel slaves. Tell me, Artur. You look very, very experienced in old games. Should we just start?
Is it because of the grey hair?
No.
It's sexy grey hair. That's the reason. No.
No.
Maybe this. No.
Sexy. I'm getting some fucking sexy pops going on.
Brother, you're welcome. To my club.
I'm evolving into you. But wait, no, that sounds wrong.
What? That's dirty. That sounds okay.
No, should we
cut it off? And I know he won't cut it, but like I don't know.
Shall we?
Yeah, listen.
Go from the beginning.
I tell you one thing. Yeah, I just want to say, like, I think like one time in a while I'm getting this nostalgic part, and I think one of the biggest games, or the biggest thing even, and one of the biggest things which influenced me in my life was the Ultima Online. Like, no joke, was the game which I played in the very beginning. Not only it influenced me as the person, and also kind of helped me to crystallize, and we'll talk about it, but it also spoiled me in a way that I was not able to play any normal game anymore ever. It's like VR. It has the same effect on me as VR had, and that's why I'm actually doing some space, and that's why I am what I am. But yeah, we can start from the very beginning.
What's your first memory of a game? We'll go from there, and we'll dive in, and it will spiral into fucking craziness.
Whoa, into
okay. Go on. First ever memory of a video game. We'll go from there. Go on.
I can tell you exactly. So first ever memory of the video game is when I came to my father's office. I didn't have a computer at home yet, and I don't know if I was like 13 maybe, something like that. And I remember they had a computer there, and they had some games, and they had 2 games I remember. One of the game was the flying simulator, but like the flying, we'll put the footage in here. Like the flying simulator, which like you have the lines only, like the horizon is like the blue is the water.
What's it called? Like just lines, just geometry. Sort of
geometry flying simulator. Correct.
10 frames a second.
Yes. And I was like mesmerized by that.
It looks so real.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, can you imagine where it went from to where we are today with Microsoft Flight Simulator VR1 and all of this stuff? Like, it's crazy. So that's that. And then the second game, which mesmerized me completely, it was called it was called Commerçant, but it was like a how I would translate it. It's like a trader. It's a trader, basically a trader. And the game was a text-based game. It's about economical text-based game where you give some inputs.
That sounds so fun.
And it's a blue screen, non-Windows game. So it's like a literal like text-based stuff. We'll put the screenshots here.
Tell me.
This
Could you have the option
like...
to mug shopkeep in that text?
No. Game? It was. You were getting some inputs. Like the game from time to time, randomly will bring you some inputs saying like, I don't know, the price of oil went up, and your company, like and you had to react on this by hiring more people and stuff. I love this game. I don't know why, but I love this game. Okay, and I remember when we were at school and we were playing, like we had already computers and we were playing like Bomberman. You remember Bomberman?
Yes.
Like tanks. You don't remember those tanks which were like turn-based thing, real-time like strategy, but turn-based. Do you remember tanks? You never played it? If you never played, we have to play it. Oh my goodness!
Tanks.
It's like basically you have the map.
Is it battleships?
You have 2 tanks.
Is it like battleships?
It's like no. It's not battleships. You have 2 tanks, and we'll put footage here, and then basically you just put, there's a wind, and then it shows you how much is the wind, and then you put the tank, and then you shoot, and then it flies, and maybe you are far away from the opponent's tank, and then he shoots, and then whoever can shoot and be more precise first, and then you can have some shields, and you can have this and that. You can like. Super cool game.
I've never played it. Tanks.
Oh man, we have it's still available. Like, we have to play. It's absolutely mesmerizing. So the tanks was great. We played it with our friends a lot, and also the Bomberman. The Bomberman is great because you're running around and stuff. But I remember during the IT classes, like computer classes in the school, I remember like my friends playing those games, and I somehow was playing this trader game, like I was just mesmerized in my economy world. And later down the line, when I became a real trader in the real life, in trading stocks and trading stuff, my friends were like, we knew it when we were playing the Bomberman, you were playing this. I was like, I guess yes, I don't know, like that's that's the way how I just loved it. I love this the world of economy.
You got a jump start on life by playing a text-based trading game.
No, actually, I think it was just a sign. It was a sign of me kind of directing my my energy towards that, and kind of floating towards that direction. But the real game changer came. Okay, so I start from the very beginning.
Yep.
The real game. So let's say it's year 1998, something like that. Okay. I have a computer already for probably a year or 2 with Windows 95. I think I started 93 and then 95. So very modern stuff. I had like Pentium and great CRT monitor.
You have a 27-inch flat screen CRT monitor. Is it nice?
Not a flat screen.
You didn't have a flat screen?
I didn't have a flat screen. I had like Sync Master, like something very nice. And so I have this computer, and I'm living in Ukraine. Not the most developed country in the world, to be honest, and at that time especially. And I am, IT guy comes from, so obviously internet is the thing, right? Becoming a thing and bigger thing and stuff like that. And obviously we wanted to get to the internet. And the IT guy from my father's company comes in and he does the check. Obviously it's everything dial up, but the phones in that time in our like country and stuff, they were like shit, like truly shit, So he comes in and he tries it and tests it. He said, nah, it's not possible. Like it's just not possible to have an internet. I'm like, oh, bummer. Okay. So no internet. And then one day I remember it's summer, and I'm watching like every day or every second day there was a gaming show on the TV, like half an hour about the games, what's new in computers, games and stuff.
Oh, I missed them. And the magazines used to get as well.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we'll get to the magazines. But so and then there's a computer show, and as the ad between the half of the show, like 15 minutes, and then it was an ad, and this ad was about the local internet provider in our city saying, hey, we have this new prices and stuff, and if you want to try internet for free for half an hour, here is the number for your modem, dial-up modem, and the code. Try it out. And I was like lying in the summer, I was like, wait a second. So I write it down very quickly, and I'm going to my computer, literally knowing that I was told that it's impossible to have internet. Okay, so that was the information I was living with.
Yeah.
And I'm just somehow never tried it, like figuring it out, just going to the modem part of the computer, putting in those things, and then I click the button, and then we play this classical dial-up sounds. We need to play it here.
The noise.
Yes.
It will trigger some, and it'll also it's quite scary because some people won't know what it is. But
But we'll put it here. We'll put it here.
This is the noise that we used to deal with.
Yes. So then I hear this noise.
Yeah. Did you
and
shoot
obviously,
yourself?
and I don't know, right? I don't know what's happening. Like I'm like, and I'm sitting there mesmerized, like I'm waiting what's going to happen. And then I see this apps. I remember it as if it was today. Like I kid you not. I remember it was like suddenly it was quiet, and then in the icon tray I see two computers starting to light up. Yeah. And it was like, you're connected. I was like, am I connected? What? I'm on internet? And then I just go to the Internet Explorer, and first thing I load automatically is Yandex. It's like Google, but in Russia. It's like what we all used in that time, and many people still use. So I'm like yandex.ru, and I press enter, and I see the computer light up, and I see the yellow page start to really load, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I'm on the internet. And I'm like, holy crap.
How long did it take that page to load up? How long did it take?
I would say to full, like I saw the outline of the page, like with the search bar.
Teasing you every little bit.
Exactly. I saw it like within maybe 15 seconds, but then the whole page was maybe loading 1.5 minutes because there were some images, banners and stuff, right? And I was like, holy crap, I'm on the internet. Oh, what? So I had this half an hour, right? And I'm like, oh my God. So I tried this, and I'm like just going there, and I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe I clicked on the news and stuff. And then the internet, like the half an hour one goes away, and I'm like, oh wow. So I wait for my parents to come home. I was like, listen, guys, I was able to get to the internet. They were like, what? I was like, yes, it works. Like, no way. I said, yeah, it works. So we get the IT guy back. We said, bro, rather my father and my parents said, bro, he was able to get to internet. Like, really? Okay. So then, of course, the next logical step, we go to the provider. The one I tried the free stuff. We go to the local provider, which is, several streets away. We make a contract, or we just prepay the internet. And that was the start of me starting to explore internet, the ICQs stuff. Like that sound, my mother got crazy from this sound. Okay, on our flat, there was constant.
Over here, it was all AOL Messenger. Is that what you had, or was something similar?
It was something similar, but ICQ was more fun, I think.
Yeah.
ICQ was like more feature-rich things you could do with that and stuff. So okay, so that's how I got to the internet, right? Again, the connection was shit. The drops were happening often. Whenever there was a rain starting, our local lines were flooded with the water, and the internet just stopped. So like it was super bad, but it was possible. Okay, the internet was working. It was working. So that's the internet part. And of course, I'm in school. I have friends, and we're talking about some games, and like we played. From the single player games, I played a lot of Need for Speed, for example, offline, right? In single player. I played a lot of Fallout 2, an incredible game.
3D one.
Yeah. So the 2D one, but like really I remember we're like drawing the maps, discussing where you are, what's happening. Like we were living in that world. We're literally living in that world. And a Fallout. Then I played what is called? Of course, strategies like, I don't know, Warcraft, first Warcraft, then second Warcraft. Then we played StarCraft. Then we played Age of Empires as well. And then I played Millennium. I think it was called Millennium. It was like a strategy based. So you were like building cities and countries. Again, economy. Like some kind of went towards that game. And then one day my friend we were buying the magazines, right? We were buying the magazines, and one of the magazines was called Navigator of the Gaming World. Again, it's a Russian magazine. We're buying it, was selling everywhere. So one day we buy this magazine, and then we open it up, and on one of the pages, as one of the title pages, it was the editor of that magazine. He got Ultima Online, and he was in each magazine issue, he was describing his journey in this beautiful magical world, and that was mesmerizing.
Straight away.
We were reading with this like like they're real people. It's online. Everything you do affects other people. The world is open. There's no, you didn't need to do anything, but you could. And we were like, oh my God, and we were glued to it. I actually found it yesterday. The archives are still there, and you can read those articles. I'm rereading these articles just because I want to get that feeling. And we were like, Ultima Online, wow, bloody hell, what the hell is this? Like this is kind of, it sounds incredible. It sounds everything we were dreaming of, like in that game. And the graphics was decent. We were looking at screenshots. It looked really, really nice. And for that year, it was incredible. So we were like, wow. And then my friend's father, I think he went to Moscow for the business trip. And then he came back and he brought him the Ultima Online CD, like the official CD, right? And my friend got in. And I was like, and then he comes in and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Of course.
And I was like,
there wasn't voice chat then, was there? Was there voice chat?
No, no. You type and then it appears above your character. The text appears above your character.
Before it could have been someone else.
No. My friend comes to school. We meet in school, right?
Okay,
we meet in school.
Okay.
I don't have the game yet. And my friend, my friend comes and he's like, "Oh my God, I logged in, and then this happened, and I went there, and then he starts to kind of tell me like, oh, we're in this city, and then we got the map right, and there was city, and then I'm in that city, and I'm like, I gotta have it. Like this is crazy. I cannot do it anymore. I cannot handle it anymore. Okay, so I tell to my parents like, man, like, is anyone going to Moscow or something? Because like official discs were not sold in Ukraine at that time, right? So all were ripped discs. But you're buying like stolen games, basically. Like you were not even possible to buy a licensed game. Like it was impossible. There was no stores for that. As much as we wanted, there was no stores for that. But only in Moscow there were some stores where you were able to buy like some very, very official games, as Ultima Online. And my father says like, yeah, our friend is going to Moscow next week for the business trip. I'm like, man. So we exactly. So we tell to the friend, it's a very good friend of the family. We tell to the friend like, hey, can you bring like this game? It's called Ultima Online, white box called Renaissance. Like you have to bring it. He's like, man, I'll do my best. Like that. I said, no, you have to bring it. It's like, okay. So the friend goes to Moscow, and then he comes back and he brings the game. Okay, but he's like, bro, I had to go to 6 stores. And in the 6 store they had it. Like they were like great. They were calling out the store, do you have it? Like it took me half a day, but I brought it. And the game at that time was like, again, it was like $19.99. I remember exactly the day, but it was like $30. It's a lot of money. I mean, thank God, like we were living like a good life in there. So my parents, were businessmen and stuff, and we had money, but $30 is $30. It's a big thing.
Was it?
So
did they have any like monthly? Is it just you pay the game?
Yeah,
once?
yeah. Just wait.
Okay.
It's coming there. So Ultima Online, how Ultima Online is they created this game, and it was obviously made for US mainly in the beginning and stuff. So it was meant to be $10 per month subscription.
Jesus.
Right? So you had to pay $10 a month. Yeah,
it's a lot. That's like 40 now.
More.
Probably
it's more.
Yeah.
It's more. Yeah, so it was $19.99. So right now I would say it's around 100, maybe 80. So you had to pay $10. The problem is there was no way of paying $10 from Ukraine to United States company at the time. Like, so there was no ability to play on official server. What they gave you is a month of free play. And what my friend did is, because he got it earlier than me, right? He got into this world of Ultima like several months earlier. He went to the official server, he expired his month, and then he started to research, and he found a unofficial Russian server where people were able to play for free, okay? And by the time I got to Ultima Online, he was already anchored into another Russian server, And I already directly went into there. I didn't even play on the official server. Like I didn't even go to the official server. I just went directly into that because he was already there, and I wanted to be where he is, right? So one of the most memorable moments in my life, I guess, apart from like getting to the internet from like the gaming perspective, from the getting to the internet, was the moment when I got the box and the moment when I decided to go to Ultima Online. So we agreed after school. We agreed. My friend said, "I'm waiting for you in the Minok city." Those who played Ultima Online, they know. It's a north city where the
he can recollect everything perfectly in this moment in time right now. I bet he knows where all the hidden vendors are and stuff like that in it. I bet
of course,
picture it.
I remember everything. I remember every corner, everything. It's crazy. So he says, "I'm waiting for you in Minok, okay?" I'm like, "Bro, you got it." He's like, "When you start, you get to start because you can choose which city you start. You choose Minok, okay?" I'm like, "You got it, bro. I'm there." So we agreed like 6 p.m. You'll be there. I'm like, "I'll be there." He like, "I'll wait you to this like near the bank in the city center. You'll appear there. I'll be waiting for you there." I was like, "You got it." So I registered. Of course, I'm nervous, right? I'm like sweating and big moment. I'm registered, and of course I click wrong. I don't click the Minok. I forgot to choose the city, and it automatically chooses the main city, the Britain. And my parents are behind me, right? And they're like, "Okay, what's this?" Like they heard so much about this game already from me. They wanted to know what the hell is going on, you know? So they're standing behind me. What?
Show me the hype.
Yeah, exactly. Show me the hype. And like I'm there, I'm like clicking enter the world, right? And then it's loading. And then I appear in this world, in the Britain. And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "Okay."
Now what do you do?
And exactly. And then like and I just like I move the mouse and the character steps a few steps and we're like, "Oh, okay." and of course the sounds are and we were like, "Okay, now what?" Now I start slowly realizing that I'm probably in the wrong city because it doesn't look like Minec from what the friend told me and from the screenshots we saw or whatever. I'm like, I don't think I'm in Minec, right? And then I see a character enters my screen because you see some part of the screen on there, right? The character enters the screen. He walks and walks and walks, and he has some armor and stuff. And we were like, "Ooh." And he stops near me, and he was like, "Hi, hello." I'm like, "Wow, he's talking to me." I'm like, "Hello." I press enter. My character says hello. He's like, "What's up? What are you doing?" I'm like,
"You told me to wait here."
I just logged in.
We agreed at 6 p.m. There's me.
And he was like, "Where do you want to go?" I was like, am I in Minec? Like, I need Minec, right? And he's like, "No, that's Britain. Minec is far away from here. You need to walk there." I'm like, "Jesus, walking, okay." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "I can take you there." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And my parents like, "Whoa, he's talking to the real person, like, what the hell? It's crazy. It's a real time, right?" I'm telling, like, you cannot, like, people don't understand the notion of me sending the message and receiving it from the person in real time from a complete different type of part of the world in the 3D game was incredible. Like, it's still incredible, but it was incredible. It was mind-blowing right there. My mind was blown like 5 times during my conversation within 5 minutes. My parents were like, "Holy crap, that's great. Like, whoa, that's amazing." So he like, "Follow me." But you have to realize my internet is shit, like literal shit. So the lags, like the timeouts, it could be that the packages, like right now we're used to like how many milliseconds the ping is. Like it could be milliminutes, okay, not milliseconds. It used to be milliminutes. I was literally like, it could have happened that you press send, for example, or press load. It starts loading, then it stops for like 40 seconds. And then after 40 seconds, the computers find the connection again, and it continues loading. So in Ultima Online, it basically looked like this. You press the mouse to move your character, the character starts moving, and then suddenly you're like, and then you wait. And then I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and then it loads, but like people are different around you, everything is different, like you're standing like things happen while you are not when you're there, which is, it sounds funny, but it taught me that it is a real life world, and whether I'm not in this world or I'm not doing anything, the world is moving around me. Yep. These things are happening. People are moving. People are doing things, right? So he says, "Follow me." And I'm like, that loads. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, man, it's laggy. I mean, he was from some, I think he was from Moscow or from something, and they had already good internet there, or much better internet than I had. So it's like, what's happening? I was like, man, I'm lagging, or like, I don't know, like and he's like, okay, no problem, I wait for you. So we go from Britain, we go towards the Minek. So we enter like on the back of the city towards the, like there's a road, and we go, and then we enter the place where we enter, like there's a orc like orc village, not village, but like orc fork post that they are kind of like on the brink of the city, or like a little bit further from the city. And normally, like again, I see red names all around me, like orcs. I'm like, oh my god. He's like, don't worry. And he had already some armor. He's like, don't worry. You just go with me. If anything, I protect you. Okay. I'm already sweating like everywhere. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm not even 10 minutes into the game. I'm already like adventure like crazy. I first met the person, and the person is telling me go there. I'm in the wrong city. My friend is waiting. It's already half. I cannot call him because if I call him, the internet drops. It's a dial-up.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, shit. Will he be there? I don't know, but I need to get there, right? So it's already like probably 6:30 or like whatever. And man, I'm sweating right now remembering this. So I'm looking at like on the top, I'm looking, I need to pass through those orcs. Like there's a gate which is open and we need to run through. He's like, okay, what you need to do is just run. Okay, they will not be able to kill you. Just run. Okay. I'm like, you got it. I'm running. Okay. So he starts running. I'm running. I'm going through the gate. There's 3 orcs. And I'm like, okay, all good. And I'm like, oh shit.
Comedy timing.
And then it freezed for like maybe 40 seconds. And I was like, oh shit, what? But I don't know, right? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even see anyone attacking me. And then it unfreezes and gray screen, you're dead.
Nice.
I'm like, holy shit. I don't know the mechanics of what I do, right? I have no idea. My buddy's there. Orcs are running around or walking around. The guy is nowhere to be seen.
He's fucked up. He's like, well, I try my best. I'm off.
I was like, what now? And my parents by that time, I think they already lost interest.
Maybe
just went like,
you were the first person he couldn't protect, and he felt that fucking bad. He's like, I'm not. This wasn't me, and he run off.
I can tell you that I even remembered his name. I just forgot right now, but I can remember his name. I can tell you one thing. I was searching for the guy later on the site. I've never found him. Like I've never been able to find him. But one thing is interesting. So I'm dead, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, what do I do now? So I continue running. Again, I don't know how to open the map. I don't know nothing. I'm just a ghost running with a gray image, not even color anymore. Gray through the forest.
You dead?
Seeing some creatures. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Seeing some creatures. Seeing some people running here and there. I'm trying to find my place.
People when you're dead. Nothing.
Yeah, okay, so the problem is you can't talk to people when you're dead. The problem is like if you're in if you press tab, you're in a war mode, or if you press tab, you're in a peace mode. The problem is if you're trying to scream to people when you're in war mode, but you're a ghost, they will only see, instead of text, they will only see like, oh, like only O's. And I'm seeing the person. I'm like, hey, man,
help me.
He was like, I don't understand you. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, writing. Exactly.
Go away, ghost.
So I'm like running there, right? And I'm like lost already. And it's already like 7 something. I'm in a deep forest. The map is huge, right? It takes you like literally for running. If you're without a horse, it takes you like half an hour from one city to another, like literal running, constant running, right? And I'm running. I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going. There's a crossroads. I don't know like what the crossroads are. I later realized that there are signs which I can click on and they will tell you where it is, but I didn't know. So I'm like guessing like, is it the right direction? Anyway, like 45 minutes later with all the lagging and stuff, I'm like, okay, I need to, like my parents already said, okay, it's already too late, guys. Come on, you have to. I'm like, okay. I call my friend. He's not picking up because he's still playing. I'm like, shit.
He's
okay,
still there now.
No.
He's still there now, waiting for you. 20 years later, or how many years it is.
So I'm like, okay, for enough for today. I'm ghost. I close the client in the middle of the forest. I come to school next day. I'm like, bro. He's like, wait a minute. I was waiting for you for like almost 2 hours. I'm like, bro, you can't believe what happened to me. I became in Britain. He's like, why Britain? I said, I don't know. I just didn't click something, whatever. he's like, where are you right now? I'm like, I don't know, I'm in the middle of the forest. He's like, just run on the forest. Next time you're in, just run north. You'll get to the Minek, and I'll be there. You can resurrect yourself, and we'll find out. So
and that's where
that was my
the origins of the term ghosting came from. Was you? You died. You was a ghost, and you left your friend.
I mean, what?
Ghosting.
Yeah, I was ghosting him. But
Literally.
so it literally, I was ghosting. So that was my first day. Can you imagine? This was, just for your understanding, this was 25 years ago. I remember this day as if it was right now, like literally, and many more things. We'll discuss it, but like that was my first experience in Ultima Online. And now let's discuss it from the perspective, and I'll let you tell your experience, like the first way. But let's discuss from the perspective what it's 1999. What am I experiencing at that point? Real-time communication with a person, real-time live world, persistent world, meaning you change something, it changes for everything, for everyone. AI players with ability to attack me, and actually they're much more complex than what I was thinking for the orcs and NPCs and stuff. The PvP, the real-time PvP and PvE or PvM.
I bet you was awful to play against in PvP.
I'll tell. Yeah. That's, I've never been a PvP player until
I'm the same.
I moved to Czech Republic, and I got good internet, DSL internet. Then I started, but that's a different story. We'll discuss it. But so that's that, and all of that. That's 1999. Man, I can tell you that some of the games, like persistence doesn't exist in many of the games today. Majority of the games are not persistent. I would say 99.9% of the games are not persistent today. Yep. That server was persistent. Whatever you did affected whatever other people were seeing. The world was moving, whether you are in it or not. It was changing. People were moving. People were conducting business. People were fighting, all in real time, all live, all in the server. Huge map. Like it's miles and miles and miles and miles away from each other cities, right? You had to run physically. If you know how to portal, if you had like a spell to recall and stuff, you need to mark the places and recall there. Or you could have used the teleportation like stones, and you should have to pay for this, like all this kind of stuff. Like it's 1999, man. That's crazy. And again, I was totally mesmerized. I was like, holy cow, I was communicating with people. And then, of course, I found a friend in the city, and then my journey started. And I'll get to one more funny bit, okay? Fast forward a few weeks, I'm already not a super noob. I'm kind of knowing what I'm doing, or like I'm hanging out in this Minok city, super afraid to go out of the guard zone, right? Because like there are player killers running around. I'm just watching from the distance, like there's a bridge where the guard zone finishes and the stuff. Every evening, there's huge fight on that bridge. Like player killers coming, blue guys coming, huge fight. And I'm like, and there's like row of noobs just watching from the distance, like, oh. And there's like armors and dragons and bombs and archers and everything, the magic spells. And we were like, oh, holy cow. The heroes in our eyes, those same nicknames every day, every week, we're seeing them. And they become our heroes. They become people who were either super afraid to meet outside the guard zone, or we're super mesmerized by, because those are great glory, blue knights who are trying to protect the city. And it was just like every evening we're just standing there, and it's just the live theater of a beautiful battle was just directly played in front of us, but live. Nothing was scripted, right? Every day outcome was different. Wow.
Did you ever get ballsy? Did you ever think, you know what?
Wait. We will discuss that. So, but one thing, my first real role play experience was where I'm standing next to the city center bank, right, minding my own business. And then sometimes there's like those knights are coming into the bank to offload their treasure, right, or something. And they come with their horses, like beautiful armors and swords and stuff, that they just run in and just start offloading things. They stay there, maybe they say a few words to each other, and then they just run out, right? And then one time, like, guy runs in, and he has, to me, he's like he was on an o'clock, which was like kind of like a dinosaur. Like in hindsight, it was cheap, and I know that it was easy to get. But to me, the guy with the shorts and nothing else, and a knife, I was standing there, and the guy like a guy in a green beautiful armor, and a green clock, runs into the bank with a clock, screams bank. The bank opens for him, which I don't see obviously, and he starts offloading something. And I was standing there, and I said like, wow, or something like, wow, that looks beautiful. I wrote something like absolutely newbie, right? I was like, wow, that looks beautiful. He turns to me, says nothing, and then he starts to transfer the items to me, and I see that because the window of changing things open up above me, right? And he starts to put like piece by piece his armor. He's taking his armor off and he's putting it there. And I'm standing there. I don't know what I was like. What the hell?
What do I do?
What is he doing? Like, and he was like, and he clicked accept, and the check mark appears on his side, but I didn't even know what to do. He's like, accept. I was like, what? He's like, click check mark on your name. I clicked check mark, and that armor.
He got naked and gave you his armor.
Is in my backpack, right? It's not in my backpack. He's like, enjoy, and he runs away. I was like, what?
Did opened my backpack. Did you put it on?
Yeah, wait. So I opened the backpack, and the armor is there. I was like, wow, this is crazy, man. So of course, what I do, put the armor on, right?
Yeah, armor's on.
I'm like, okay, that looks fantastic. I'm so proud of myself, like, what the hell? I'm now the green. It looks so cool. The clock is green, which by the way, like costed 30 gold to dye, they use the dye stuff in like, I didn't know all that. For me, that was like, I became the god of the universe.
An epic geared kind of, yeah, I know what I mean.
Yeah. So I got this green thing, full green. I'm looking exquisitely, right? So I walk like this in the city center.
Swagger in your step now.
I go north. I go north the bank.
Yeah.
And there is like a smallish, not a forest, but like a little bit of trees in the city, right? I go there and I see the guy, with an axe, just cutting the trees because he's probably like going the skill set or growing the skill set of lumberjack, and he needed some wood or whatever. So he's trying to cut the trees and sell the wood so he gets some money, right? So I go to him, I come close to him, and he's like cutting the wood. And just for your understanding, he was not like scripting it or something. He was double clicking on the axe, clicking on the tree, cutting the wood. Double clicking on the axe, clicking on the tree, cutting it. So he was there. I knew that he's there, right?
What did you do? What did you do?
And I'm like, hello, citizen. And he stops, and he says nothing. He just looks at me, right? He stands, he looks, he double clicked on my character, so his character moved to me. So I know he's looking at me. He looks how I look, and I look amazing, right? To me, I look to him as well. Probably he's like naked, noob, whatever. And I'm like, do you know that you have broken the law number 396-5 of cutting the trees at the city center, which is strictly prohibited to maintain the nature balance of the Ultima Online? He says nothing. He just watches me. He stands there like he's stunned. And I was like, do you understand what I'm saying to you? And I'm like writing this in a nice, like most of the people like, hey, lol, ruffle, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to write like long messages, which are, more serious stuff. Proper role play. And I was like, do you understand, sir, what I'm writing to you? He's like, yes. He answered me like, yes. I'm like, unfortunately,
it's a fine.
You have to be punished and paying the fine. Unless if you cannot pay the fine, you have to go to the jail. He's like, and then he's like, I didn't know. And I can see like he's making mistakes while writing. He's like, what? Wait, I was like, not knowing the rules doesn't let you free from being prosecuted. And he's like, but I'm sorry, I don't have anything. I don't have money. I was like, you have to pay 100 gold money, or you will have to proceed to the jail with me. He's like, but I don't have 100 gold. I was just trying to cut, and it's all is. And I was like, listen, I understand are you a new player? He's like, yeah, I just started like 2 days ago. I honestly, I don't know what like. And I was like, I understand, that's fine. So I understand you don't have 100 gold, but you would have to give me everything in your possession right now, because
You fucking
otherwise you'll have to go
troll.
to the jail.
You nasty person.
He's like, of course.
Strips.
And he didn't give it to me. He started to put it on the ground. He just started to offload his stuff on the ground. And I was
Okay.
like, and he was like, it was an axe, and then he was like this, and then like he literally offloaded all the crap from his backpack, like whatever he had, like a dead rat and an apple and whatever. He offloaded everything on the ground. I started to collect this, and then I was like, but that's not it. And he's like, what else? What else? And he had like a trousers and a t-shirt,
Clothes
like a
are
newbie
wearing.
one, right? I'm like, you have to give me your clothes. He's like, of course, okay. And he just take it off. He puts it on the ground. He's staying naked, like only in the underwear. And I'm like, okay, you have to write me that you solemnly swear that you will never cut trees in the city center area ever again. Otherwise, I'll have to find and prosecute you again. He's like, I solemnly swear that I will never cut the trees on the city area ever again. I fully understand. I'm like, okay, now you can be dismissed. He literally took off and ran away, like as fast as I can imagine. I was cracking.
You should have gone and found him, right? And find him again for being nude.
I was absolutely dying for this. Like, this was my first role play, like true role play thing, and especially because the guy didn't know what's happening. He kind of gave in into this role play by not knowing it, and it was so authentic.
He probably thought he was like a staff member, or it's like a legitimate kind of.
No, I think he's probably like, for another 3 months, he probably believed that that's true, and he probably saw some people. He's like, you cannot cut here because they will find you. You know, like I can imagine this happen.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because he's so much like, you can see how scared he was when I start talking to him in all this green stuff, and he turned to me and he was stunned. He was not answering anything like for a minute, nothing. And then he said, like, I said, do you understand what I'm telling? He's like, yes. You know, he was reading all this stuff but saying nothing. He didn't know what to say.
That was the urge to
fantastic.
Google that law now to see if you've like set something in stone, and every player no longer cuts trees in the city centre because you told that one person off, and he spread the word around. No cutting trees in city centres.
And that is the beauty of the real-time, persistent, online games which are truly persistent and live, because
you control in real time.
You can ghost and troll. But no, I mean, whatever you do affects other people's behavior and things, and that what shapes the world. You truly, like in real life, if you go on the street and you meet the person and you talk to them, and then affects the person, and the person, that's the same way in that game.
100%.
Was incredible. I have not seen a game which had this kind of mechanics and balanced economy as an Ultima Online. I've not seen a single game which did it like that in this instance, truly live, truly persistent, ever again. Like, truly like this. So now I will shut up, because I'll let you, because I have a lot of stories. Like, I have tons.
Oh god, so many. We'll just keep chatting, because nothing hits harder than an old nostalgic trip. Apart from VR.
Tell me, how did you get to internet? Do you remember your first time in the internet?
I remember. Okay. So I can remember the first, would you call it a console, that I ever got, which led to the spiral of how I became the lovely person I am today. So I was a wee baby. I was probably in 1997, actually, same time as when you got yours. I had my first one was a Game Boy, a yellow Game Boy.
Oh, I had Game Boy as well, and Dendy as well. I apart from PC, of course.
I played on. My brother had a NES and a SNES, so I played on that, but I think I was just too young to realize what was going on. I just saw flashing lights, and I'm like, I didn't know what I was doing after that. But my first console was a yellow Game Boy, and it came with Donkey Kong.
I had red,
and it came with Pokemon Red. And I used to travel a lot as a kid. We used to go to around Europe, like Greece and Italy and stuff like that. And I'd always used to carry this. I had the magnifier, I had the lights, I had the plug-in speaker, I had the fucking camera They used to take pictures on it.
I
And
had nothing
I
on
can
that.
just remember going to all these lovely places and then just sitting in the fucking room because I was addicted to this little Game Boy. I missed out on so much, like, what's the word? Like culture, just because I had this little Game Boy with me. So that was my first dipping my toes into gaming and everything like that. And then after that, I got myself an N64 with GoldenEye, and oh man, GoldenEye. Have you ever played? That was the first gaming console that you could have. Well, for me anyway, like 4 players at the same time.
I don't remember. I mean, I played. To me, the console started because in 1995, we went to visit our friends in US. So we flew to US.
Yeah.
And our friends had a kid. He was 1 year older than me, and he got Nintendo 64 at that time.
Yes.
And we were playing Super Mario, right? And I'm like, holy cow!
3D.
So nothing like that is in Ukraine, right? I didn't have any like game console. Now we come back. I'm like, I want game console. But there's no Nintendo 64 there. Like it's not available. So we bought the Dendy. It was like a knockoff of something, which had some games like Mario and other stuff. So I had Dendy, and then I remember PlayStation 1 came out, and there was Need for Speed 1. That was the most immersive driving game. We were playing with my mother, my father, like the whole evening. We started like at 5, and we finished like at 11 in the evening, just playing Need for Speed 1 the whole time. Like I remember
Still something special with playing on the same screen with people. I'm not.
Absolutely.
I can't replicate it now. Even there's nothing like that now. Everything's just online.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I went from consoles and then to PC. So I had N64. I loved that. I played Banjo-Kazooie, all the bloody all the Metroids on the SNES. Then I got a PS1 gifted to me, and then I got into all the Resident Evils. And that's, I don't know if you know about this about me, but I love anything to do with horror. I am a slut for. Anything
I hate horrors in VR. VR, like horrors in VR is something like I don't like horrors in movies, but I also don't like it.
Do you like ghosts and stuff? Do you like the paranormal side of things?
Casper,
the friendly ghost. That's your extended part. I'm gonna have to put you in Phasmophobia. We're gonna have to. We keep saying this.
In VR1, are you kidding me, man?
Yes,
I will die.
100%.
I will die.
The ghost will come out of those lenses and absorb you.
Oh my god.
But no, yeah.
So you go to Resident Evil, yes.
And then like Dino Crisis.
And still no internet, right? Which year it is, roughly?
Oh no, we had internet. This is probably like 1999, something like that. But I wasn't playing anything online yet. I was still I was still a little wee baby.
Because there were no games online. There was only one, which is Ultima Online.
Much, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, all these ones were just single player or like local multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you need friends for that now, but online friends are better than that anyway. But yeah, pretty much I was a console nugget up until I was about 12, 13. And my old man, right, he went to me, right, Luke, because that's my real name, it's not Shodah. As much as that disappoints many of you, I'm just basic Luke. He went, do you want to play on my PC? I was like, all right, okay. All right, I pressed all the buttons, I did all the things. I broke it a couple of times. But that was the first time I played Half-Life. And that was my first PC game I ever got into, ever completed, ever like hooked in. I was like, wow, these graphics are amazing. I was rendering on the software. We didn't have a graphics card, or was it like a Voodoo 3D or something like that?
Yeah,
really
bad.
Yeah. So my first ever online game that I can remember playing would be Team Fortress. It's called Team Fortress Classic now.
Mm-hmm.
And I played that to death. So much so because that had like real time voice chat. So our timelines are different. I think I would have probably been on Ultima Online if I'd have been born like at similar time as you. But I'm at the era now where it's like everything's voice chat, like local voice chat. I played it that much that I picked up an American accent playing with people on there. I used to get home at school at like 4 o'clock. I used to play till like 8 o'clock, but That'll be like morning time-ish for Americans. That's when they're all on. And every server I joined, there was just all Americans. And I'll be sat there going, "Hey, I killed y'all! I killed y'all! Do you see me kill y'all? Stop touching my turret!" And my dad just gave me the biggest smack round my ear. I can still feel the pain now. Just proper backhanding me. It went, "Will you stop talking like you're retarded?" I was like, "Oh, well, obviously you could say it back then. You can't say it now. We'll blur that word." But
No. Hey, you never cut a shit when I ask you to cut. We are not blurring
nothing. Of course I won't.
This stays here, you bloody racist and I don't know what. This show is not politically correct, okay? If you don't like it, fucking close this window. Fuck off, okay?
I knew they'll get that reaction. That's why I said it. Yeah, he did that proper backhand. And then most of life was a blur from up to the time in 2005. There's quite a big jump. PS2 in that era. A lot of Half-Life, like Quake 3 Arena, Unreal Tournament. Oh my god, don't get me started on those. Nothing hits harder than getting the shockwave cannon on Unreal Tournament with the right click ball and then the...
Shodah. One pause. Do you know what for years in the office of Somnium and across all our team, we have been doing every lunch break? We've been playing Unreal Tournament.
Where the fuck's my invite?
They fucking Epic closed the server. Cannot play it anymore. They were
Epic.
Tim Sweeney was so busy shitting on Apple that he didn't want to pay 4,000 euros per month to keep the service on. What the fuck? Sorry, like I'm so pissed.
You're about the one with with the two facing worlds, the original with the really cool fucking menu music.
Of course. We still play it with VR engineers on the LAN parties sometimes.
I want to come play. Let's play
Capture the Flag. Play. Yes, of course. We play it.
You used to have the teleport gun, didn't it? And then the what's it called?
We play with the LAN parties we play the old ones. With the Among Us online we play the more modern one in Unreal Tournament. But still amazing, man. Still amazing. I was rocking the shit out of those babies here.
Oh, I can now. I'm thinking I can hear all the gun sounds, like the bioweapon. And
yes.
Man. You know what? After this, I'm gonna find if is a way we can do like a peer-to-peer server.
I think it's still a way. Please find, because if we can do it back, all the guys will be in and we'll be playing it again.
But nothing will get done. We'll just be playing Unreal Tournament all day, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, so what we did is we played it for the we played it like for several games every lunch break, and also sometimes in the evenings after the Somnium VR sessions, we just hopped in and played for another like half an hour, 40 minutes. We played several games like Redeemer, you know. I was redeeming. And we played like we played just normal. Like I think there is a way to do it. It was just a little bit complex, but like I want to do it. I want to continue because that's a legendary game. Honestly, it's just a legendary game.
Oh, how hard would it be to get those guns and those maps inside a world and?
Okay, getting something into something. I have a dream. I have a dream.
You have a dream. You can tell me your dream in a minute.
Yes. So you're playing all of this game in the same time. By the way, I can bring my timeline into that time.
Yes, do it.
So it's like 1998, 1999, right? Like I don't know. Yeah, 2000-ish. Because I moved to Czech Republic from Ukraine in 2002, in the end 2002. Until that time, like from 1999 to 2000, the big thing in Ukraine were computer clubs. Because not all the people had PCs at home, and everybody were able to play it at home. So there were computer clubs with like 300 computers, like 4 rooms, 300 computers. And the best thing to do sometimes, what we did is, you pay the money. So you pay by the hour, right? You come into the administrator, you say, I want to have computer number 17. He unlocks you the computer, and then you play. But the best thing was those clubs. One time a week, they were closing the club for the whole night. So they collect 300 people. There is a food inside, or you bring your own. Like we always brought McDonald's with us. You bring the food. They close the door, and you play whole night from like 8 in the evening till 8 in the morning, non-stop.
Jesus.
And literally, like we were doing it like from time to time, and literally, like you come in, and then it was like this. Someone sends out like, I need 5 players for StarCraft. Who is with me? We're like, me. Okay, you're in. And then and then I remember, like, it's a lot of 300 boys, rarely some girl, 300 boys. There's one bodyguard. There's one bodyguard in the.
I can smell this. I can smell this story. Carry on.
This administrator sitting next to the computers and one bodyguard with him, right? And the bodyguard's like, if someone gets too emotional, starts swearing or something, the big guy comes behind you, like he knocks on you, and he's like, "Calm down."
Okay.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. And so we're playing Counter-Strike. We're playing StarCraft. Like, again, I never was into StarCraft, but my friends were, and because I was going with them into the club, he's like, "Hey, can you play with us? Like play with us StarCraft." I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, man. I'm like I'm Warcraft guy. I'm Age of Empires guy. He's like, "Doesn't matter. You'll find it out." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like going for the humans, and the only good thing about the humans race in the StarCraft was that you're able to lift your buildings and fly away. Okay, so my strategy was, we start in 3 places. My strategy was, I lift my buildings right in the beginning. I fly away to my friend. I build the fortress, like bunkers to protect for me as long as possible. The opponent, they know that I'm the weakest part, so they're coming first to kill me. But they didn't know that, like, I have a lot of bunkers, which earns me like 10 minutes, okay? And I'm collecting resources in an empty base because I'm already, in my friend's base. Like, I'm already building bunkers with him and stuff. So they come to me, they go through the bunkers, and they find out there's nothing. They're like, "Shit, he moved." And at that time, we already like have a different strategy where it was like, so we play like StarCraft, Counter-Strike, Age of Empires. We play Unreal Tournament. Again, I was more in a Counter-Strike, but my friends liked Unreal Tournament. They got me into Unreal Tournament. I became a sniper. People hated me for that. I was so good that people were literally creating mods to not let me snipe all the time, because otherwise it was just headshot. And they were like, motherfucker. Again, it's killing. It's like, he's camping. So yeah, I mean, it's just all those games, like, the racing game, the flying Ilsturmovik, I remember we were playing, like all of those games the whole night, literally after like eating McDonald's, just sitting there, doing nothing else.
Never knowing that you was living the peak life.
Literally.
These
like
memories, like that's peak memories.
Peak life, and literally like sitting there, and when you exit this club at 8 o'clock in the morning, you go in the streets. I was like in a Matrix. I was like, it was all, still was in the games, like I wanted to scream like fire in the hole, or like, all this kind of stuff. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy.
You know what's really scary now? The way how you're talking. I'm gonna sound like an old boomer saying this, but this generation, the next one, and the next one, they will never experience that. They would rather sit inside and just watch YouTube shorts all night. They'll never, unless
these things and other after that.
No, it's not gonna happen.
This is crazy. Like it's and again, I don't want to sound like we're old or stuff like that. But I don't think the kids of today are having the same emotions and the depth of emotion. Not this emotion. Like, they might have emotions, but the depth of emotions, which we had at that time with those games, I don't think they can relieve that today. Like, I literally don't think you can relieve that today. Because of magical part where first time internet came in, first time 3D games came in, first time, like multiplayer games, like, and suddenly you have those 3 things which converge into this one magical experience where
just blew everyone away.
We didn't have mobile phones before. There was nothing to communicate quickly, We had to wait or call or meet with people. Like, that's
almost feels incredible. Like we're just getting dumber.
Absolutely.
Attention span quicker. We both love VR, yeah, obviously. But I can't think of a game, really, brutally honest now, that gives me the same feeling as those old games. I don't know if it's to do with the age.
No,
I
it's
don't
because
think
of the games. The games became the games became not fun but monetized. They became optimized for the attention span, the shorter and shorter attention span, and to push you more and more to spend more money.
100%.
Because in the old times, the games used to be fun. There were places in the games which were designed without any purpose. There could be a place in World of Warcraft, or there could be a place in Ultima
there
Online,
was so many.
which
So
which
many.
had no purpose in the game, but you can
It
visit
was
and
just fucking
explore
cool.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's cool, and you're like, yeah, that's amazing. Like this, look, there's a bread on the table. Like, does it have any purpose? No, but it's amazing. I feel immersed, in the game, and I think that's what changed. The optimization towards profits killed the industry, or is killing the industry. And fast forward to today, the reason I started Somnium Space, and we had a lot of work still to do, and I want to do the work towards that. The reason we started Somnium Space and I started Somnium Space is that when I saw HTC Vive DK version before they even released it, like when I saw the already late prototype of this HTC Vive, and I was able to walk in the room freely, and I was able to be in this world, the first thing I imagined was, wow, imagine Ultima Online, but in this.
That setting, yeah.
In a free world, persistent, huge world, no boundaries. You walk and explore. Everything's new. World is changing. And that's what I'm trying to build in Somnium since then. Like, that is literally what I'm trying to build in Somnium. With a real economy, real ownership. Now, again, in Ultima Online, happened to me. You're in one server. You collect for 3-4 years a lot of stuff. I was pretty wealthy in Ultima Online. And then the server shuts down, or new admins just wipe everything out. And everything is gone. And you're like, holy shit. I lost everything.
I remember you telling me now, because I was going to say, do you think you'll ever go back into it? But I think that amount of time you spent getting as wealthy as you did, you think, what's the point?
Yeah, it's exactly this. That was one of the moments where I kind of started to play less and less. But you're collecting all those things, all the artifacts and stuff, and then suddenly it's wiped out. And there's no way for you to move things out. There's no way for you to earn this thing. There were there were different shards, right, in different servers, in like unofficial servers. We were playing it, and some servers had this first things of interoperability, where you could transfer your skills and cash money from one server to another. Like, they would delete the admins had this agreement between each other, and you would apply via email. They say, okay, you're approved. You create a new character on the new server, and then they transfer the skills, and then they transfer the money. They delete the money on your side, and then they give you the money on the other side.
Yeah,
it was rare, but it worked. But like, imagine the blockchain. It was so easy. You have the item. Every item is an NFT. You have it in your wallet. You can use it, obviously, in the server where you play, but you can also go in there, hey, I have this money here. Can I use that as well? And they would say, yes, of course, because it's the same game. Like, that would have been absolute blast, but it was not there. And that was a problem. So again, that's why all those things affected me in a way that I want to have this open, persistent, immersive world. Like, one thing which I was dying to try, and I will freaking do it. We'll recreate some Ultima Online map in Somnium Space in VR.
That'd be fucking great.
I was dying
do
to
the
be
tree
inside that
scene.
world.
Do the tree scene.
Yes.
Have someone cut in the tree
Yes,
as an AI.
yes,
You tell it no.
Yes.
No,
yes,
you're not allowed to.
Yes, exactly. But
okay.
like, I just want to say, like, that's the whole point. Like, the blockchain, the persistence, the stuff, the ownership, the economy. That's if you know where I'm coming from, you understand why the Somnium Space is the way it is and where it's going. That's pretty much.
Or from
like
Ultima
the end
Online
of my
closing a server and you having nothing left. That must have fucking hurt. All that time.
Oh yeah. I had so many stories where I was banned for a reason which I didn't.
Was you trolling people?
No, I was banned because someone from my IP did something wrong, and admins just wiped out all the people who were on that IP address, right? But then I appealed, and they reinstated me and stuff like that. But still, it took me like a month to deal with that. Yeah, I mean, we'll do part 2 of this, of course. We'll do like proper stories. Today we're doing like how did we come, the origins of our online journey. But we will do proper. I mean, we'll continue now, but we'll do proper stories of the ones which I remember. I mean, there's so many I already lost, but the ones which I remember about what I had experienced. Like, okay, how did you get to the World of Warcraft? Because you are a big WoW guy. How did you get into World of Warcraft?
No, too many hours in WoW. Too many. I say hours. It's more like days per character. I was in game days per character. So My brother at the time, he used to work for it was called Game Station, which is like a GameStop, and then Game bought them out. So the Game basically, the English version of GameStop, and he was like a temp there, and they was all playing it. 2004, I think, the end of 2004 when it first came out. So I used to watch him. I used to be one of these weird brothers who used to sit behind their brothers or siblings and just watch them play, and just sit there and not say a word for hours, and then when they sneak off the toilet, have a little go. So I did that, not knowing that I've deleted something of like I think I deleted his helmet at the time. I dragged it off his character, and I was just clicking all the things. It's like an epic tier 1 helmet at the time. That was very, very rare, because back in those days it was a 40-man raid, and there's like 6 other people wanting the same item. So I got slapped for that. I got my head kicked in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And then since then, I was like, I want my own character. So my brother gifted me his PC because he went to an Xbox for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. It might have been because he lost his helmet. I don't know. So I got his PC. I was about 12 at the time, 13. I think 12. And then I just... Night Elf, I was called Shodah. It's still stuck with me. It still haunts me from now. Now, I tell a lie. No. My first character was called Shodah. I was a rogue. Night Elf. I got to level 30. But then something happened where I just kept getting... There's a place called Stranglethorn Vale. And people will know.
You know what was my first nickname?
What was your first nickname?
Dark Knight.
Of course it was. Original. Was it Dark Knight 29 or something? Dark Knight 69?
No. It was Dark Knight.
Just Dark Knight. Mine was Shadow. Because a rogue then go invisible and they can go in the shadows. So I was very, very creative with my name. So there's a place called Stranglethorn Vale, and it's very famous for the opposite faction to be a rogue as well. And as soon as you go in this area, you're in PvP land, and that's it. You're dead, pretty much instantly. So I was in a vicious cycle of just getting killed and killed and killed. I'll start a new character. Now this character, I was like, what do I call it? So I took the O and the A from Shadow and made Shodah, and it's stuck ever since. Like, this is a great name. I'm a night elf priest. I'm going to heal things and I'm going to keep people alive. I went Shadow spec, obviously. But yeah, and then the amount of... That was the first time from getting 0 to 60, from 60 onwards, for years, I made so many friends, so many connections, so many good memories. How I lost my virginity while playing this, I have no idea, but I did. Which is a fucking story and a half.
Unlocked.
It's just like, you don't expect it.
You should receive an NFT for that as an achievement unlock.
Fuck's sake. But no, it's just like, yeah, it was the first like, I was in a guild with 100 people in it, and we used to use Ventrilo every night, like Discord now, just talking and talking, raiding every day. I used to get up 2 hours before school, like 3 a.m, play WoW, do school. As soon as I come back, play WoW until like 12 o'clock, and that went on for at least 2 or 3 years. I have got literal game hours, game times on characters, not just one character. They span in like 500 days, which I don't know how many that's in hours. It's got to be like 10,000 hours or so per character. I used to have like 6 or 7 characters. And I got sucked into this world that is so massive and so the fantasy side of things. And I didn't do roleplay like you, but I did used to go to the starting area, and I used to spend most of my time on my epic mount, just prancing around, and all the little newbies like, wow, all the little arters going, wow, you look really cool, and I'd take my clothes off and give it to him and then run away. No, I didn't do that. You couldn't do that in WoW because all your stuff is soul bound. You can't just trade your stuff. Yeah, that's how I got into WoW.
These limitations are stupid.
Yeah. But the way I thought about it was linked to my soul, because soul bound. It's just.
Okay.
I still play it now. I still play
Yeah,
it now.
you tell me, like,
I
it's
sent
crazy.
you
I
that
mean,
picture.
I do log into Ultima Online, to the old server, by the way, where I have some stuff. Like, I do log in from time to time,
I think
literally.
people who play WoW from the start will understand just what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling sad because nothing's going to come close to that feeling ever again.
Yeah.
I feel a bit embarrassed the amount of fucking time I put into that when I could have put it into something else. But I had so much fucking fun. I met so many. I still speak to
Same
people
here.
now about it.
Same here. Same here. I don't regret anything, honestly. And the reason why I don't regret anything, I can tell you. So remember this story when I was gravitating towards the economic games, right?
Yep.
In Ultima Online, year passes, my internet is slow, I cannot do PvP. I kind of, I'm just existing there. I'm trying to like put my skills up, but again, I don't know about the scripts. My internet is crashing all the time, so I cannot leave the character doing automatic stuff. So I click on the things, my hand, putting in like and mining something, and my skill is slowly growing. I'm trying to earn something and stuff like that. And then I'm like, somehow I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is this? Like what? And I'm always like an entrepreneur. I'm always was an entrepreneur in my head. And I'm trying to find the things. So I start talking to people, and then I find the connections, and I get into like the close circle of some guilds and stuff. And I try to be helpful, and they start to pay me. And then I find the niche. And the niche is I also observe, right? I observe what others are doing. And then when you go to the main city near the banks, normally there are people standing and shouting, like selling the nightshade reagent, or
Yeah.
exactly, selling this, buying this, selling this. And I'm like watching, like, what are they selling? What are they buying? And I'm seeing like the guy, I still remember his nickname, like Postum. The guy, like super rich clothes on him, like unicorn horse, like white 100 cakes,
Did you
unicorn.
go up to him, stare at him, and go, "Wow, you look good," hoping he'll give
No,
you
no, no,
Ultima?
no, 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 no. I was listening. What is he buying? He's like buying or no, selling the ingots from the selling ingots from this and this, selling ingots from this and this. And then like another rich guy comes to him. He's like, okay, I need 500. He's like, 200,000. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's 200K. And then like I have like 5K under my name in the bank, like from the last year. And he's like 200K. It's like they exchange, they go. I was like, what the? Okay. So I'm watching him, and then like, okay. So I already know like how do you make those ingots and stuff, right? So I'm like, let me see. And then I see a lot of small players who are beginner miners, and they mine in this like city, very close to the city, like caves.
Yeah.
And those caves, the closer you are to the city, the less rare ore you will find, because the most dangerous ones and the most rich on the rare ore are the far away from the cities, in like where it's more dangerous. And they are like mining the whole day. And sometimes the rare thing happens that they get an incredibly expensive ore, one ore, right? And the problem is, like, they go to the guy like Postum, and they're like, hey, I want to sell you one ore. And he's like, fuck off, like, I'm not interested. Like, give me 500,
Big on,
right?
peasant.
And I'm like, but this guy and that guy, if I buy this ore from him and that ore from him and this ore from him, I can collect this ore, and then within a time, I'll have more ore, right? And then I can make the ingots from that ore, and then I can sell in a bulk. And I'm like, So what I do is I stand in the city center. I find the best clothes I can get, like to at least, somehow like this guy.
Fake it till you make it kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I want to be like seen, and I'm like standing there, and I'm like buying rare ore. And the guy comes to me, like the noob, like he's like, I have like 2 obsidian ores, which it took me 2 weeks to mine, and I have like one black rock oil ore, and I'm like, I give you this amount for this and that amount for this. By the way, all the prices were way below the market prices, like way below the market prices. And they're like, but that's too cheap, because I can sell the ingot for like 5 times the price. I'm like, good luck. because if you have a low skill of blacksmith, when you double click on the ore to make an ingot, it might disappear. It fizzles away. So you need to have a high skill, and then there's nothing. And I'm like, good luck. Go and make the ingot, and then try to sell one to someone here. Like this guy is available. He's like, but no one is buying. I was like, exactly. But I'm buying ore here. He's like, fuck. So they had to sell it to me because nobody else was buying. So I was buying like, and of course, and you know, it's like in real life. They learned that there is a guy every time from 6 p.m. to like 9 p.m. standing in the city center,
who's buying your
you know, they know how I look. They knew my nickname. They knew how I looked, and they knew the prices. And they were coming. More and more people started to come to me and sell this stuff. And I became like the big buyer of those ore. And then I was smelting that ore, making the ingots, and selling it to the other guys for much higher price, like 5x the price, right? And that's how I started making like a lot of money. I bought myself a house. I found a place, and then I bought a vendor in the marketplace, which, like, you know, we're talking millions already. Like, I was already operating in, like, the guy Possum for me was like, okay, yeah, I had a respect because he was from the other guild, but I was like, fuck it, I don't care, you know. So I was like buying myself horses, and then I also started to have a vendor, and I was like, what will I sell? Okay, I can sell the ore, but I can sell also the ignorance, but I can also sell the animals. So I started to buy cheaper from people or tame myself, sell stuff, and suddenly I was operating some large amounts of money. You know, I was suddenly already wealthy. I was able to afford. I was not able to PvP, but I was in this circles of people who, you know, had already money.
Pay for PvP, pay for protections.
I did pay for protections from time to time. I didn't need to pay for protections, but I had friends with whom we like were friends, like in a higher society, and we were like, I was like, hey man, I need to tame this horse, but most of the time they're player killers and they're super annoying. Like, can you come with me? I'll tame the horse. I'll give you like, I don't know, 10K, because I know I will sell the horse for like 50K, right? And I knew that he had fun playing killing, so he just jumps with me, or it was different. I jump first, the player killer starts attacking me, he jumps right after me, and he starts attacking him. The guy's like, oh shit. And then we together attack the guy, and he either runs away or we kill him. And then we loot, and then he loots, I give him the whole loot, and then I give him 10K for assisting me, and then I tame the horse, which I then sell for like 60K, right? And that's how we're having fun, and I was like bringing with me a lot of stuff. And I can tell you that Ultima Online had also bugs. Like, for example, sometimes you see there was a color, you can color your hair of your character, but there were normal colors like white, yellow, blue, gray, black, you know, brown, stuff like that. But not black, like dark gray, like this. And then suddenly I see a guy with like absolute crazy bluish, pinkish, glowing color on the hair. It runs through. I'm like, what? And then I start talking to my friends, and then one friend of a friend, he's like, I know the guy. He will tell you, he can show you and tell you how to make, like, it's a super secret. You need to pay him, but he'll tell you the secret how to make this special color for your hair. But you can get like punished by the administration if they see, because they know it's a bug. I'm like, let's go. So I go to the house, we teleport to the house. He's like, okay, we have to wait here. The guy will come in. The guy comes in, he says, okay, come with me. We teleport to another city, and like, you have the money? I have the money. So I give him the money. He's like, listen, take the color. I take the color.
Dodgy dealings.
I mean, he's like, when you double click on the color, it offers you to choose the color of the hair, and then you press apply. Don't choose anything and press apply, and then it creates the random color randomizer. Like, it could be black with white stars, dots, you know, like, because the system doesn't know what to apply, and it applies a random color, random numbers. And he's like, if you like the color, you can repeat that until you find the color you like, and it will be probably the unique color, because then nobody else will get it, right? It's a random color. And I was like, holy shit. And I try it, and it works. And then I get like some crazy color, and then I get it, and then I, you know, get another one, and I stuck to this color, like, and now I'm the guy, you know, like with a good clothes and amazing color hair and like all these artifacts, and everybody like, oh, the noobs, you know, like all the looking at me. So like this progression is like kind of like in real life. You get to know people, you get to communicate with them, and then I got to know some secrets about how to. There's some bugs and stuff. Some bugs were dangerous, you know. For some bugs, you literally have banned, like literally banned. One time I got into a problem, and I could. I went to jail, thus jail in Somnium Space, and I had to cut 1,000 logs by hand, which took me like 7 days, probably 2 hours a day, to do that until I was able to go out.
Did an admin tell you this, or was it just a random player who looked powerful?
No, admin did that.
I'm just
to me.
thinking now that guy got his revenge back on you.
I don't know, but I can tell you, I got my hair cut, which I paid $1 million for, because there were hair dyers which had one-time apply. You apply to your hair and that's it. And when they put me into the jail, they cut my hair, so I was bald. So I had to go to the hairdresser. But that was $1 million. I paid $1 million for that color. It was a unique color. It was several people had it on the server, and I lost it just like that. But I mean, I had at that time I had I don't know 12 million probably in cash. So was a big deal, but not that a big deal for me. I can live. But yeah, this kind of this economic skills again. I kind of gravitated towards being an economical person. I was operating with large sums of money. I was able to do it successfully. I was able to do business where it was beneficial for those people who were doing business with me and to me as well, right? It was a win-win situation because again, those noobs were in the beginning, didn't know how to sell. And I was the only one buying. And they were able to earn money and to afford their horse, which they can use to run to a further cave and mine more ore, right? And they came back and they sold to me more. So it's the whole, it was amazing. It was just incredible. Nothing even close to this after that. Nothing even came close to that. So
yeah, it's ruined MMOs. Like for you, I'm assuming it's ruined any single player game. I can't.
I was not able to play any single player ever, even today. I see single player game dismissed automatically.
And in VR now has ruined flat games for me.
Yes, I literally cannot play nothing right now.
I just get bored.
Yeah, I can play. Literally, I can play a little bit of Ultima from nostalgia, and then Somnium Space for meeting people and having some super immersive experiences, and also experiencing this open world in Somnium, like the mountains and stuff. So at least I get a glimpse of what is coming and what could come, but literally nothing else comes even close. Nothing else comes even close.
I mean, there's no real MMO, any good ones for VR, which would, if someone came out with a really shit hot MMO with economics, good combat, I think I would soak it up. But
Somnium will be that, because I want to, and that's what we'll be discussing in the team meetings and stuff. I want to start. We already have this layer of technology which is working, the SDKs and avatars and stuff. We have a blockchain economy. It works. You can buy things and stuff. But now suddenly I want to start going towards this. It doesn't need to be a role play thing, but it needs to be something which the character and the story will grow with you as you mature through your life.
Yeah, it's like you with the whole ore and the ingots, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I want your character and your life in Somnium be your parallel life to your real life. And because it's on blockchain, you can actually give it to your kids later, and they can continue your legacy in this world. Sorry?
Okay, Steam. You don't hear that story?
Steam?
You don't know about Steam?
No.
So if say you die, right? Your children, they can't have your Steam account. Gone.
Oh right, yeah. It's crazy.
That is in Billy Butcher's terms, that's diabolical.
That is a centralized authority platform. Everything is centralized. I want people to have total freedom and control over their digital possessions. Sorry. There's no other way in the future. There's no other way.
I mean, call me crazy, right? But I think now your digital self is probably more important than your real self.
Of course, because we spend more time online than we spend offline.
Exactly.
Yes, of course. It's natural. I mean, come on.
It's like people over in England right now. There's people on Facebook who are putting vile posts against immigrants and that, and they're getting arrested.
Yes. Bloody hell. This is utopian. Okay, by the way, from UK government. Maybe I get arrested too, but this is crazy.
It is a bit crazy to think of, but when you think about how much time people spend more online than in reality, surely those rules should apply to your digital self as well. In that crazy way.
Now we're getting to the
I know, fuck
You know how it's funny that the same government
I
who is
like
now jailing.
Britain and I like its government. Don't break my doors
Yeah,
in the rest of the place.
exactly. I just want to say that like the same people who are criticizing like China and Russia and Belarus and stuff for censorship, doing even worse thing right now, or at least seemingly
Who would have
looking like they're
thought
doing even
that
worse
Britain
thing
would
to the
become the
people
next
like.
Nazi?
I was like, what the hell is going on there? I'm reading the news literally. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Like, you need to be able to say things because freedom of speech is not just a joke. If we cannot converse in real life and exchange opinions in a civilized way, then it's a big problem. Because
massive.
In the discussion, we find the truth. We might disagree with each other. You know, we might say, look, you say World of Warcraft is the best. I say Ultima Online is the best, and we can lay out our arguments.
Send him to fucking jail.
Exactly, send him to jail, mother.
The issue you got with that is, it all comes down to being offended, doesn't it? Pretty much. If I say something that offends you, how do you quantify that? You can't, because if you being offended, I could just say to you, "Well, I'm offended. You're offended."
No, I think if I respect the person, if I think that the person is, you know, a good person, and if I don't find the person idiotic or whatever, if I know the person, if I am a friend with the person, and if I will take it seriously, I would listen, I would try to understand why you are thinking the way you're thinking. I would try to lay it down and out the arguments. And by the way, sometimes we will find a common ground and we'll agree on some things. And sometimes we'll not be able to find a common ground, but we'll still be able to communicate further together and be friends. Yeah. We don't need to agree on everything. Come on, like life is not about agreeing with everything. Then it's just a bubble, you know, like we're in the same bubble.
It just feels like the UK at the minute. It's just like you either agree with us or you're going to spend some time in some bars. That's what it feels. That's where it feels.
You know what's important? That some people are willing still to say things and go to jail for 20 days, and that takes courageous. That takes balls. I'm not saying they need to do it. I'm just saying that when I see something like that, I'm like, you know, like again, I know I don't want to get political here and stuff, but like when people like they hate Trump and stuff, but when you see Trump standing up after almost being shot, and kind of like, you know, saying like, come on, guys, we can, whatever you think about the guy, that is courage, you know, because if I'd be shot, I'd probably be still lying there like crazy. Like, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I'll be probably hiding under my bodyguards. Like, put more bodyguards on me. It's okay, you know, like it's.
You hate the guy, but you know, as brutal as weird as it sounded, it was cool what he did. Just stood up and just carried on, you know, crowd playing, just carried it on.
And again, these characters, you know, if we go back to the games, I remember some of the characters on those bridge fights, right? Some people are more courageous. They go in and they fight, and you see they're fighting to the death, and they're not afraid. Some people are more in the background, and even the games were the mirrors, or were forging our characters. Like the Ultima Online forged a lot in my life, like who I am. Literally it did, because I grew up in that game. I grew up in that economy. I grew up in that world. And yeah, I can put a lot of parallels into my real life from that. A lot of parallels right now. Who I am today actually was forged during those times. And I regret zero regrets I have. It's not nostalgia. It's just about admitting what kind of golden times we had. And there won't be times like this ever again. There will be different times, probably, but like I have not found yet a single. I can tell you that the closest emotions I got to what I've got in Ultima Online was VR, but it didn't reach that yet. I don't have that. Every time I go to VR, I'm excited, but I've not yet had an excitement. Even going to Somnium Space, like I've not had yet such an excitement of logging into Somnium as I had when I was logging into Ultima Online. That is a big revelation for me, and this is true, totally true, unfortunately. But that's why we work hard to make Somnium what could be super exciting thing for someone else, you know,
something which always want to go in daily.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I'd love to recreate that, because that's what WoW was like for me. I wanted to go in there daily. I wanted to do things on
Meet
a
friends,
daily.
see, do things, yeah, explore. I mean, because you know what's the secret? Because the world was evolving, right? People were building things, the houses were appearing and stuff. I knew whether I'm going into Ultima Online to where I'm going to log in that day or not, the world is keep moving. Something is happening. The economy is moving. The friends are doing things. The guild is doing things, you know? That is, you know, I didn't want to miss out. I wanted to be the part of that world, of that conversation, of that thing. So I guess that's
the secret sauce. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
That's the secret sauce, and I think because I'll need to be moving in like 5 minutes, but I just want to say like we will continue this nostalgic discussion because the stories I have, you can also probably collect a lot of stories from World of Warcraft, but you are still playing it, so you can probably have new stories.
To slow down on it.
I have new stories too. I logged in like probably a month or two ago to Ultima Online to the old server. I like met the guy, and we were like, holy crap! Like the server is almost empty right now. There was like just several people, but still I managed to meet the guy. I managed to do some PvP. I managed to get killed. I killed the other guy, and like it was interesting. Can you imagine?
We should find an MMO. Play together.
We should build the new generation of MMO in Somnium space. That's what it is about. Because our next life, digital life, should be immersive. 2D MMOs, as fun and nostalgic they are, won't cut the chase for me because I need to be immersed. My dream, I kid you not, because after Ultima Online, I played Second Life a bit. And I kid you not, when looking at the sunset of the early Second Life, sitting on the tree and looking at the sunset and the water, I was coming close to the monitor to be feeling immersed. Like that's how much I wanted to be inside the gate, inside the Ultima Online as well. Like the trees and the forest and like looking at the water and stuff. And now we have the technology for this, amazing technology for this. And combining those two, combining the world with the blockchain, with all this ownership, with the economy, with the ability to explore and be immersed, what can be better? That's what the goal for Somnium Space is. Honestly, that's how I feel the next generation, the next step for Somnium is. To create you this longevity of your parallel life inside VR.
As long as I can buy an epic mount and just sit in the city centre, just flaunting it. That's what I used to do a lot in WoW. Just used to show off all my shit. Put my best clothing on, my best mount, and just parade. I'm a very simple man to keep happy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're City Center. You have a great NFT avatar, which is like a legendary avatar created by one creator. No one else has it. Everybody can explore that avatar has been, costed you $5,000 and stuff. And you have this great clock and all this dynamic and clothes and stuff. And you're sitting there, and the wind is blowing, and your hair is like that's it. Like honestly, you go to the disco, you go to the disco, you enter the room, and we're like whoa,
oh shit, Shodah, easy back in.
Exactly.
Make way, peasants.
exactly. Like what? I want that song to be played. Yeah. I mean,
do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
I would never ever. I've heard it many when I used to gig a lot. I used to hear that a fuckload. Like, no, educate me. Who are you, please?
Yeah, exactly. Who I have this honor to be talking to, like right now. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's incredible that we were able to live through that tiny golden age moment of digital beings in the history of the internet, because everything before that was literally unusable. Everything after that was too saturated, cluttered, and completely skewed towards profits, towards slow or quick attention span, and all this kind of stuff. But that golden moment when games were made from the bottom of the heart of the people who made them, not for the profits, but for the love of the games, that was just tiny golden moment, and that was just several years. And we were in our prime time as kids playing and imagining all the stuff during this. We are lucky. And by the way, for the next part, I don't know, maybe he will watch it, but Richard Garriott, who created the Ultima Online, I once had a chance, actually 2 times had a chance to talk to him. Was surreal on the Skype, was a surreal moment in my life. When I told the friends, I called them. I said, do you know who I talked to with? The friends who actually played Ultima Online with me. They're like, who? I was like, the creator of Ultima Online. They're like, no shit. I was like, I tell you, it's true. True story.
Ring him
like,
now.
What did he?
And make him make Ultima Online a world inside Somnium.
Yeah, he tried to make another game, which was supposed to be like, it didn't went super well. So he ran a Kickstarter. He raised quite a lot of money for that. I mean, he went to space. The guy is amazing. The guy is freaking legend. Richard Garrett is a legend. His story is like, he is the role play character, which is like on steroids in real life. Trust me. So yeah, with that, I need to finish, and we need to finish.
This is part one. We'll come back for
it's
part
part
two.
One. There will be many parts. I don't even want to put like, there will be never-ending parts
never-ending
of our discussion. Let's do it like this. We will do those series during the Pixel Slaves, from time to time, until the Somnium is becoming what we want from the next generation of MMO, RPG, parallel life existence.
That sounds exciting.
Because we have ability to change those things and do them, and we need to do them, because just making a VR world for the sake of VR world is not enough anymore. I don't think it's enough. People want longevity. People want to be able to, you need to get excited to be every day there. You need to have that feeling of continuity, like something is building up for you, whether it's wealth, whether it's social connections, whether it's both, whether it's karma, whatever. But you need to get excited to be inside. But there's a lot of work still. We'll get there. With that,
great.
My dear friends, it's the end of the first episode of the Nostalgia MMORPGs.
Is that what we're gonna call it? Not Pixel Slaves.
I don't know.
We'll MMORPG.
Yeah, something exactly. We'll call it something. We'll have an epic cover image where we will be like, probably your part of World of Warcraft, and you'll be
in your green outfit.
I'll be in my. I'll literally go to Ultima Online as a preparation for this episode. I'll make myself the old. It's called Old Copper, by the way. It's Old Copper green armor. I made myself a brand new Old Copper armor, and I'll make a screenshot at the same place where I was for this episode, so you will be able to see where I was standing. And you will Photoshop for the cover image. You'll Photoshop my face into my character name, and you'll Photoshop yourself. We'll have like a World of Warcraft and Ultima Online,
exactly what I'm
like nostalgia stories. And we need to put like a magical music from the Ultima Online.
There's gonna be so much like tavern music, Ultima Online music, maybe some like Age of Empires. Randomly.
Yeah. We need to take care to edit this really well, because this deserves to be made with love. With that, my friends, thank you very much for watching Pixel Slaves. Are we still slaves for pixels? It's still true. That's the whole show name. Come on.
It could be worse slaves. Anyway, on that note, bye-bye.
See you next week. Bye.